Introducing the Open Palm Podcast with host Jerome Shaw, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. The Open Palm Podcast is a positive, uplifting, motivational, and inspirational podcast. The host brings his insight and philosophy, and you can't help but gravitate towards his smile, his words, and his wisdom. Again, the podcast he hosts is titled The Open Palm Podcast. It's about inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas and topics. He'll also help you become more aware and in harmony with your own life, giving you a better understanding of your place in the world and using your skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. You can find the show today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. You can also connect with the host on Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's JROMESHAW on Instagram. Jerome Shaw with the Open Palm Podcast. Motivation, meditation, mentality. Go listen, download, and subscribe today.
My friend, I have news for you. Have you ever heard somebody say, you know, back in my day, back in my youth, in my younger days, in the good old days, back in my youth, I would often, have you ever heard this figure of speech? In our youthful days? I have news for you, my friend. Youth is not a time. Youth is not a time, my friend. It's not a period of time. Youth is a quality of life. It is a quality of living. You see, we often say, back in the day, or when I was more youthful, with more vigor, with more oomph, right? And we say these things as though we cannot be that way today. But youth is not a time. You can be youthful all the days of your life. I'm sure you've seen, or maybe you even know, plenty of people who are youthful in their later years. I won't say old age, because age is really just a number. It's just the number or value we place on the years of our life. But you see, there's some that say 40 is the new 30, 50 is the new 40, 60 is the new 50, right? What does the number matter? Does the number really matter? Riddle me this. If you had no idea what year it was, if there were no calendars or anything to let you know, what would the date be? What would the month be? If you had no idea your age, how old would you be? Exactly. So age is really just a number. It's the way that we keep track. But youth is not a time. Youth is not an age. The issue is not with the time period of our life, but with the quality of our life. It is not the years of your life, but the life in your years. Are you living with youthful vigor? I once remember working at H-E-B, which is a grocery store in Texas. And I remember stocking the shelves. I hated that job. But I remember seeing a lady, and this lady was what some people would call an elderly woman. But you know what? I looked at her arms, and she had veins like mine. I was boxing at the time, always in the gym, which you could call a gym rat. So my veins were very vascular. And I was very fit. Yet this lady seemed more youthful than I. I had to ask her, "Ma'am, what do you do? You seem you're so young. Your arms, your veins, they're like mine." She smiled and said, "Oh, kindly, thank you, young buck, I just do a lot of gardening," she said, being modest. This lady was young. It didn't matter how old she was. In age, it didn't matter the number of her years on this planet. She remained youthful. And you can too. So keep a youthful spirit. Keep a youthful heart. Keep a youthful mind. Realize that it is not up to time, but it is up to you. Thank you for listening, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, the Open Palm Podcast here in Los Angeles, California. I pray that you received an encouraging message letting you know that you can be youthful all the days of your life. You don't just have to reminisce about the good old days, the times in your youth. Your youth can be right now as you are listening to my voice. You are still youthful. You are still young, and you can remain young all the days of your life. Share this episode with a like-minded individual learning and growing, becoming their greatest version just like you, embracing their inner kid again. Pay it forward so more can hear the message, and if this is your very first time receiving this podcast, definitely subscribe for more inspirational messages like this. And if you feel compelled to support, consider opening your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw. Supporting the podcast there is much appreciated. Thank you to all the wonderful supporters who continue to donate and contribute to the podcast. Much love to you. Have a wonderful and blessed day or night wherever you are, my friend. And as always, take care. Hey there, my friend. So you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.